Young people are getting scammed more than anyone else. You've been told your whole life that older adults are the most vulnerable to scams. But that's not true anymore. Young people are losing money to scams at nearly twice the rate of older generations. It's shocking, right? But here's the thing. Young people think they're immune to scams. They've grown up with technology and they assume that makes them smarter than older generations when it comes to online fraud. But that confidence is exactly what makes them prime targets for scammers. The truth is, scammers are taking advantage of the very habits that make young people so engaged in the digital world. Whereas older adults are now more skeptical and less likely to fall for those tricks. For decades, the stereotype has been that older adults are the ones getting swindled. They fall for phone scams, fake charity donations, or the infamous Nigerian prince emails. This idea has stuck because older generations are often portrayed as being less tech-savvy and more trusting. They've been the targets of traditional scams like phishing calls or fraudulent sweepstakes, where they're tricked into giving away personal information or money. But as technology evolved, so did the tactics of scammers. And if you take a closer look at the numbers, it's clear that young adults are actually more vulnerable. The Federal Trade Commission reports that 44% of young adults between the ages of 20 and 29 have lost money to fraud, compared to just 24% of those aged 70 to 79. That's a huge difference. And here's why people are still clinging to the wrong idea. We think that being tech-savvy equals to being scam-proof. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Young people are easier to scam than older adults, and it really comes down to two main things: overconfidence in their tech skills, the speed at which they make decisions. Young people have grown up on the internet. They're always plugged into social media, always swiping through ads and influencers. They think that because they know how to use a smartphone or a laptop, they can spot a scam. But this overconfidence is exactly what makes them an easy target. They trust what they see online, especially on social media, where everything seems genuine. And they don't take time to critically analyze what's in front of them, whether it's a too-good-to-be-true investment opportunity or an exclusive, limited-time offer. Take cryptocurrency scams, for example. Crypto fraud is so prevalent that it has become one of the most lucrative scams targeting young adults. A staggering 60% of young people who get involved in crypto end up losing money through scams, often through fake investment opportunities promoted by influencers. Scammers know that young people are looking for a quick win, and that's exactly why they prey on them. They understand the psychology behind impulsivity and immediate rewards. Older adults, on the other hand, are more skeptical. They've lived long enough to spot these red flags. They're not swayed by flashy promises of quick cash. But young people, they're ripe for the picking. Then there's the impulse buying. Young people are constantly bombarded with ads on social media, pushing them to act fast, whether it's for a limited time offer or the chance to invest in a hot new asset. These fast decisions are driven by FOMO, the fear of missing out. You know the feeling. You see your friends posting about the latest exclusive deal, and suddenly, you feel left out if you don't act now. This is a classic example of consumer behavior under uncertainty. Scammers know how to exploit this feeling of scarcity and urgency. When consumers perceive that an offer is limited or exclusive, they often make irrational decisions, ignoring potential risks in favor of quick rewards. This is exactly how scammers target young people. They make everything seem urgent, making the victim believe that they have to act right away or miss out forever. Take social media scams as an example. On platforms like Instagram and TikTok, influencers push products that promise quick success. These influencers are trusted by young people. They follow them, they like their posts, and they trust their recommendations. This reliance on social proof, where individuals look to others for cues on how to behave, is a powerful force in modern consumerism. It leads to herd behavior, where people make decisions based on what they perceive others are doing, rather than rational analysis. So when an influencer promotes something, young people don't question it. They buy into it because they're conditioned to trust what they see on their feeds. But here's the thing, these products are often fake or worthless, and young people are left out of pocket. It's not the older generations falling for these scams because they don't rely as much on social media to make purchasing decisions. But for young people, social proof plays a huge role in their buying behavior, which is a critical part of modern market manipulation tactics. Now let's talk about another big issue: online shopping scams. Young adults are more likely to use their credit cards to make online purchases. The convenience of digital payments and instant transactions make it easier to buy anything at the click of a button. But scammers take advantage of this, setting up fake shopping websites that look almost identical to real ones. These sites are designed to make everything feel familiar and comfortable, so it's easier to get people to click buy without thinking twice. Young people accustomed to the speed and convenience of online shopping often don't take the time to double-check if a site is trustworthy. They're used to quick transactions and expect fast delivery, but that convenience can blind them to potential risks. This is where scammers exploit a psychological shortcut. They make their sites look so real that young people don't question them. In fact, 83% of young adults who were exposed to online shopping scams fell for them, according to the Better Business Bureau. This demonstrates how trust in convenience often blinds young people to the risks. They're used to everything being easy and immediate, but scammers know this and use it to their advantage, tricking them into thinking a quick transaction won't come at a cost. And in the end, that cost is often money, or worse, identity theft. We can't ignore how the social media environment plays a huge role in making young people more vulnerable to scams. Platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok have become more than just social networks. They've transformed into digital marketplaces where everything is integrated, from entertainment to shopping. Young people are constantly exposed to promoted content, fake ads, and sponsored posts that blend seamlessly into their feeds, making it hard to distinguish legitimate offers from scams. The speed at which content is consumed online plays a major role in this vulnerability. With so many ads and promotions appearing all at once, young people are conditioned to scroll quickly and act just as fast. This leads to quick purchasing decisions without taking the time to research or verify a product's legitimacy. The volume of digital content and constant engagement with these platforms create a sense of familiarity, even when the offer is fraudulent. The economics of cognitive ease come into play here. Making decisions quickly feels effortless, but it often leads to suboptimal outcomes, especially when imperfect information exists. Additionally, the convenience of online transactions makes it easier for scammers to set up fake shopping sites or bogus payment schemes. Young adults more comfortable using credit cards and digital wallets are more likely to trust these platforms to handle their payments quickly. Scammers take advantage of this trust in digital systems, knowing that young people often see online payments as routine transactions rather than something to scrutinize. This points to a key economic trade-off between immediate convenience and long-term security risks. In fact, 44% of young adults have lost money to scams via social media, proving how the speed and convenience of the digital age can also become a double-edged sword. The young, connected generation is constantly online, and while that's an advantage in many ways, it's also one that scammers know how to exploit. So here's the bottom line. Young people are being targeted by scammers more than ever, but the reality is that everyone is at risk. Scammers don't care about your age or how tech-savvy you are. They exploit impulsivity, convenience, and trust in technology to trick anyone who lets their guard down. The key takeaway is simple. Be aware. Whether you're young, older, or anywhere in between, scams can happen to anyone. The best defense is to take a moment to pause, verify, and think critically before making decisions that involve your money or personal information. We all need to be cautious. A little extra attention can go a long way in protecting yourself from falling victim to a scam. Stay aware, stay vigilant, and don't let your digital life be an open playground for scammers.